What's up guys, Tugway here, welcome back to more Mario and Luigi Partners in Time. In the last episode, we scaled our way up the cliffs of Yoshi's Island and made it here to Kamek and Bowser Jr. at the top of the cliff. Prince Bowser, little bites. Oh, here, have some more milk. It's, from an evil cow. Gotta love the, gotta make all the cows evil so that good cookies and evil milk so that Bowser will have it. There was no one to stop me from eating every cookie in sight. And of course the babies ruin our hiding spot. Grr, what are you chumps doing here? Aha! You're after me my cookies. Or no, he thinks what I said didn't make any sense, but he knows we're here to get the treasure. Not just the treasure, we want the cookies too. Yeah, we definitely want the cookies. Those cookies we grabbed earlier, we didn't really do anything with those at some point. You stole the treasure in the first place. So you're the bad guys, so all this stuff stays mine. This! And those. You mean the cookies that they just all ate? Like how the Oh No text box flies up. Stinky babies. Prince Bowser, take it easy. And for whatever reason, he is too mad to fight us. Just go walk it off, your hungriness. Grr. You punks got lucky, stealing food. Who does that? You'll pay for those cookies. Kamek, I'm counting on you to finish those snackaholics. You guys are really starting to chap my shell. I'm gonna yank out all those mustache hairs after I beat those cookies out of you. And here we have the next boss fight of the game, which is against Kamek. I believe Kamek has about 450 HP and is obviously flying in the air, so we can't use any hammer attacks. I'm gonna start off with an ice flower, hoping I can lower some of his stats. His or her, you know, we never really figured out if Kamek is a boy or a girl in this game, because I feel like it's inconsistent. And we get both speed and defense down, that's pretty nice, so I think next we're gonna go for a Cannonballer. This really, still to this point in the game, is the most powerful attack we have. That's going to be X, Y, A, B. At least I believe it is. Yeah, look at that. 111 damage after the defense down. That attack, I was a little messed up on the timing there. Kya ya wa gua. Ooh, which one's the real me? Well... So you see there is a very good advantage of using the ice flower, is that it makes it very apparent which one is the real one. What I was trying to say is I think the Cannonballer is the strongest attack we have right now for single target damage, rather than any of our other bros attacks. And also the attack there, you obviously just have to counter back the X, A, B, Y. You have to counter back the spiky balls that it drops. And after you hit the right one, the others will disappear, and I think when you do enough damage, he will fall to the ground. Now, he does have some other attacks, which I'm hoping he's going to show, so I'm just going to use some regular attacks here. Yeah, here we go. He can create a fire that will work its way kind of around in a circle. And wow, okay, I'm really taking a lot of damage here. You jump over it with both bros. If you don't get hit with either, or no, it did hit Luigi, right? I'm losing my mind. I think it hit Luigi. But you see, once it continues back, it hits him, and then you have to be ready to hammer him back. So you can get a decent amount of counterattack damage off of his attacks. I want to try one more time, see if I can do this right. Let's see. Mario, Luigi. And then he runs really fast, and I missed the timing again. But at this point, I think we're just going to go in with another Cannonballer, which I have a feeling if this doesn't finish him off, definitely one more will. X, Y, B, A. Oh, the lucky hit. That gave us an additional 30 damage, and yeah, that's enough to take him out. Now, even though he has the boss music, he doesn't have that big, like, boss explosion. Oh, and we got one of our Cannonballers back, as well as a super drop. That's obviously a more powerful form of the mushroom drop that heals more HP to all brothers. Yorg. And now we just continue over to chase after Bowser Jr. and get those Cobalt Star Shards back. I'm sure that we will not run into any trouble over here. It looks like he's run into a dead end. And we are going to beat the stuffing out of him. Just like he wanted to beat the cookies out of us. You mushroom munchers. Eat my cookies, will you? Fine, I'll eat the treasure instead. Wow, when I said beat the stuffing out, I really was kind of on the nose there. It seems those do not taste quite as good as he was hoping. Or maybe they do. They were delicious, he says. Hey, what do you... Let go. Gonna try to knock it out of him, but unfortunately the shroobs are here. And they saw us. And that guy just shakes his head. But then they leave us alone. You know, when we had to climb up the mountain, we should have really just done it the way that Yub is doing it, because this seems a lot easier. Especially the whole getting blasted with a death ray part. Yeah. Uh-oh, indeed. Mamma mia, indeed, I will say. Yeah. This is always a fun part. You know, it's kind of interesting. You fight Kamek, who in the Yoshi's Island game would sprinkle... Oh, goodbye Bowser Jr. Would sprinkle, like, magic on enemies to make them grow bigger for the boss fights. And then right after you fight Kamek, the same thing happens here. Oh, and this is not disgusting at all. You know what? Well, I was gonna say I'd feel the same way if I got swallowed by a giant monster, but there's very clearly a jump pad for the babies to get out. I don't know why they don't just take that and escape from his belly. Yeah, I don't think that's really gonna work after you get eaten by a giant alien monster Yoshi egg thingy. Which brings up the question of how did this guy even get here, right? If he's speaking the Shroom language, what did the Shroobs do to make that egg be here? Because there were definitely, like, the Yoshis were using that sign to advertise this thing. Oh, and the 2 extra cookies he saved from earlier. Remember, we picked up 3. Baby Luigi had 1. Thank you very much. Luigi finally uses those last 2 to make the baby stop crying. And unfortunately, it seems that the way forward is blocked off. I surmise we're inside that beast's gastric chambers. This is also a fantastic song. Young Bowser and his belly full of star shards should be in here somewhere as well. I suggest we find him and get out of here with all speed. Yeah, easier said than done. As the baby showed, you can whack these things on the wall with the hammer to change their color. Oops, I was like, why am I not moving to the top screen here? Oh, actually, interesting. It stays on the bottom screen here because this isn't a baby-specific area. This just takes us to another room. If I can get this rolling, it should make a way out of here. Can't seem to budget on my own, though. And just like Yoshi's Island, from the game Yoshi's Island, there are chomp rocks. Does seem likely that rolling this giant stone will something the passage. Wow, I was reading the text box up until the one word that I really would have liked to read. Now, thankfully, there is a warp pipe here to get the adult brothers out of that hole. Otherwise, they would have been stuck there forever. But immediately, we can see a ton of beans. Also, if you look at the top screen when you belly drill, this guy does not like it at all. When you come out, he goes back to normal. It's really just a nice little touch. But yeah, so this is Yub's belly. As you can probably guess, this is an area you will not be able to return to after completing it. So it is imperative that if you want all of the beans and items in here, you get them all on the first way through. I believe that is 6, 7, and 8. Let's see, do we need to use this healing block? No, we got healed after that battle, so that's good. 8, 9, should be 10 right here. Then 11 and 12. And I think there's 15 in this room. So here's 13, 14, and there's 15, and I think that should be all of them for this room. Really want to make sure to grab all these, because again, like I was saying, you can't come back here later. What does that put our bean total at now? I'm actually curious. 59, nice. Of course, those will have a use later, just not yet. Now we can move to the top screen, where we will grab a 1-up super, and just like in the Toadwood Forest, you can knock these 100 coins out with the babies to pick them up with the adults. Now, what could be in this one? I sure hope it's not something we'll regret doing. Oh, it's not. It is a fruit. This is very similar to the bean fruit from the first game, Superstar Saga, in which that game you also had to collect a bunch of fruit to empower a bunch of Yoshis. Ah, see, it's in this hole that we have a new enemy. This, oh, get to the bottom screen before they attack. Okay, good, we're faster. This is the bully. I believe these have about 46 HP, and they really only have, I think, 1 or 2 different attacks. When you hit them, they will get enraged. So I'm gonna attack the same one twice so we can see the Enraged Attack and the... Whoops, okay. So yeah, you can see basically their attack is they just charge you, and they also run back. So you have to be careful. When you make it angry, you can see it has power up. So there's that red thing. That makes it not only stronger, the power up, but when they're enraged at all, they will move faster. I forget if it stacks or not. I don't think it does, but it is really difficult to dodge them. So I think once they're enraged at all, they get speed up, and then when they enrage a second time, they get power up, and enraging a third time gives them more power up, it looks like. I think the easiest way when they're enraged to dodge, ooh, nice, is not that it mattered, is just to basically jump immediately as soon as they start running, and then jump again as soon as you land. That seemed to work well for me there, and I did get hit on that first one, but luckily they were nice enough to, and by they, I mean this giant monster was nice enough to eat one of these HP restoration blocks. Now we have 5 rooms splitting out from this first room, so let's head to the left first, where we've got another set of new enemies. Help! Or I guess just one new enemy and a kind of companion of his. Is this thing gonna do anything? I guess not. And there's that, I think that means fight command. This is the RC Shruber. You see, basically whichever way he leans, since he showed his back, he was aiming for Luigi. If he shows his face when he leans, he's aiming for Mario. Then the ship will pull you up, and you have to... Well, I was talking instead of paying attention to my own attack. It pulls you up, and you have to hammer it and knocks it into him doing a counterattack. He's doing the Luigi one again. You can swing pretty early compared to when you think you're actually going to hit it, so not too bad of an enemy. He does have another attack, so I'm hoping... You know, sometimes I miss the action command on purpose to try to show more of their attacks, and it just kills them. Those guys have about 58 HP, if I'm correct on that. Thanks. We saved Red Yoshi. Huh? Escape? So when we rescue these Yoshis, they're going to join the green Yoshi over there in pushing on the boulder. We also have 10 coins in here, as well as another bean. I believe that's everything for this room. I realized we were actually really mean to have picked up that fruit, which if we check our inventory, we now see that there's key next to the bean, indicating this tab also will have your key items. So we have there just one fruit, fresh and juicy, Yoshi's favorite. Don't get why it's not a bean fruit, other than the fact that it's not in the Bean Kingdom. We can talk to this yellow Yoshi, who is, quote-unquote, so hungry. Good little... Not that I think the game is actually referencing anything from NCS, but it would be nice if he said so happy after being fed the fruit. That gets us 3 Yoshis. Next, we'll head into this room here, which has another new enemy, as well as 2 super mushrooms. Now, I'll just walk into this guy. This is Dry Bones. Nothing special, just regular old Dry Bones in terms of name. They have about 53 HP. these are an enemy I was thinking of earlier in terms of their tell. They spin their head, that indicates which brother they're throwing for. Or sorry, I don't know what this spin does. I thought the spin would indicate which brother, but then he didn't spin and then threw at both brothers. But as you see there, if they jump before throwing the bone, that means it's going to bounce, so you want to let the bone bounce over your head. If you jump, you'll take damage. Whereas if they don't jump, it means it's not going to bounce high, so you need to jump over it. There's no reason not to just jump with both brothers, so you don't even need to try to figure out if they even have a tell with regards to which brother it's going for. And the timing for when to jump is about when the bone lands on the ground the first time from the enemy's throw. I believe that's their only attack, so we don't need to worry about trying to show anything else with those guys. Over here we have one whole coin. Wow. You also see this long string of lights above the door, as well as 2 lights here next to these panels. So they cycle between yellow, red, and blue, and you'll notice when we make the color match on the wall starts blinking. Also, he gets, Yub gets paint on the top screen when his body cells kind of move like that. You can see a Yoshi's trapped behind the door. We'll send the babies in here, and it is our worst possible fear, a whole bunch of colors. So we'll just position the adults down there and have the babies match this pattern. While I'm going through this, I think I have a bit of time to just talk about anything I want. So I'll mention that right before I actually started recording for this Let's Play, I went back and did a playthrough of the challenge mode of Mario Super Sluggers, which I honestly can't remember if I've played that since I did my Let's Play of that, which was my first Let's Play like 7 or 8 years ago at this point, or maybe even 9. Honestly, I don't remember exactly what year it was off the top of my head. Oh, I need to hit this one more. There we go. And I think it's really absurd that that Let's Play took me nearly 2 years to complete, considering how short of a game it is. I basically beat it in 2 sittings, one in a night, and then I got up the next morning to finish it. And it really is not that long of a game. So I mean, I know why it took me so long. It was because I was just new to Let's Playing, and I was a young little kid, and recording wasn't like my whole priority. But I'm hoping that with this Let's Play, I'll get everything out in a much more timely fashion. I mean, Superstar Saga was 60 videos and took about, I want to say like 5 or 6 months to complete. Started it right at the, like June 1st or sometime in the middle of the summer. And I know I finished it right at the end of the year. So I have a feeling I'll do this one a little bit faster. Oh, 3 ice flowers. Finally, we can find those in blocks because we were only finding smash eggs in Yoshi Village. Now I have a chance to fight the bully with both brothers. But yeah, I mean, that's really all I was just trying to say is I played that game again recently, and it's still really fun. And yes, you can counterattack these in either state. Ah, there we go. So if he talks like that, it means he's throwing for Mario. When he spins his head, it means he's throwing for Luigi. But he seems to only do the tell on the first throw of them all. Also, I think the reason it gave... Also, you can see their counterattacking does not set them into angry mode. I was trying to say, I think the reason they give you ice flowers in that block is because the bullies are very weak to ice flowers. I could be completely making that up in my mind, but for some reason I seem to have that memory. Yeah, you can see there it gives that critical phrase. Also, we got attacked down on that dry bones. It showed up briefly there for a few frames right before I hit the A button. So yeah, good to keep in mind. We are going to start seeing these elemental weaknesses. We've already seen some resistances in the sense that I think it was those Coupelions. Oh man, +3 only. There was some enemy I used a Bro Flower on earlier in the game, and it didn't really take a lot of damage from it. It took like 1 damage each. I want to say it was the Coupelions in the Toadwood Forest. Let's go for speed. Yeah, see, I knew I was going to get a 1, so it didn't really matter what I picked there. And hey, 3 more ice flowers. Very easy. Use one here. From that battle, Baby Mario gets a level up, and it's also worth noting that I used an ice flower and they survived, and it does not make them angry. So you can safely use that attack at least. I don't know if it's all Bros attacks, or Bros items, I should say. I feel like it might just be a special quirk of the Ice Flower. Wow, there were only 5s and 6s on there. That's crazy. I guess I haven't upgraded Baby Luigi's stash at all. We get 50 coins there, I believe. As well as just 1 there. Whoop-de-doo. Make sure to pick up this bean before I forget. I think it might just be the Ice Flower that doesn't enrage the bullies because, you know, it cools them down. It's supposed to have like a cooling effect. Right back behind this, we can get Puffy Trousers, which, oops, should be a equipment item for the adults. Yeah, you can see that's an additional 10 HP and 5 defense on Mario. Same difference for Luigi, but it seems Mario has much lower HP and about the same defense, so I think he's gonna get that. One more battle against a bully in this room, then I'll meet you in a second. For the sake of science, I actually went ahead and used a Bro Flower on the bullies in that fight, and it did enrage them, except for one that it burned. The one that it burned did not get enraged, and even when he took damage from the burn, he did not get enraged, so that's nice to keep in mind. Not that I really think it's a much better strategy than just using an Ice Flower, which conveniently, the bullies actually dropped an Ice Flower after beating them, and we get 3 more right there. There was a second set of bullies in here. I just went ahead and took them out. You can grab 20 coins from there, and there are these 5 holes to drop down. If we look with the adults, we can see that there is a platform there, and you can just barely see it as a bean on it. Spikes, Yoshi, spikes, and then I believe the return hole. Oh, you can fall down this one. So first we're gonna come down here, grab this bean, and I believe the only way back is to jump on the spikes, which reset you to the beginning of the room. And next we want to go grab that Yoshi. For that, you want to fall down the middle of the 5 holes. Be very embarrassing if I got that wrong. I want out of here. Well, good thing we can hammer this switch, which rather than changing colors is just a one-time button that causes some platforms to appear and allows the Yoshi to escape, where he will go and help push on the boulder. But even 5 Yoshis is not enough. So we have 1 more room left to explore. Hopefully, if there's 1 more Yoshi in there, that will be enough. Because if not, I guess we are just trapped in here for the rest of our lives, which would really be a shame. We can see another one of these RC Shroobers tormenting a Yoshi here. It's actually not a cutscene. You can move around while he's talking. Unless I just happened to press the button right as the cutscene ended. Could be completely mistaken on that. We head up to here, and hey, it's the water spit mechanic again. Let's see, how many should I fill up? I believe in my abilities to do this in a single shot. I think the easiest way is to line up with the corner, and then you have to look at the touchscreen to make sure you line up your shot. Apparently you have to hit it multiple times. I think maybe 3 times should do it. It seems to be getting electrocuted in spot right here, so let's just wait. And I just barely hit it. And I think just 2 hits is enough. Yeah, then it kind of freaks out, goes down, and crashes into the wall. It's a shame you can't see Yub getting hurt during this. That sounds really morbid, but I'm sure he would have reacted in a funny way. We can then bring the babies back under and go ahead and fight this guy. Fortunately, he notices us coming, so he doesn't let us get a first strike. But again, these battles aren't too bad. I'm trying to remember if RC Shroobers become a regular enemy later in the dungeon. They might. Ah, here's their other attack. So if they just bring out a single antenna, it means they're going to call in one of those little RC things. And it'll keep going around faster and faster. If you jump on it, I think it goes back and explodes. I'm not sure what happens if you fail to jump on it, if it just keeps going around forever until it hits you or you land on it. But again, not really too difficult because eventually with the timing, just by luck, it's a good chance that you're gonna get it. Oh, it looks like it's still not enough. But we can grab a bean here, so I guess that's a consolation prize for being stuck here for the rest of our lives. Or, oh, I guess it is enough. They just need us to watch for some reason. If the cutscene was gonna cut to over here showing us this happening, I don't understand why it didn't just happen off screen. But hey, They hit it, and if we move to the top screen, we can see that, oh, he is in a lot of pain as his intestines get opened up. And luckily there was that little hole for the ball to fall into so that it doesn't block off that blue warp pipe that is conveniently in his body for some reason and going to allow us to progress. So let's head on down and follow this path to its end. We do have some, we have 3 Cannonballers, 3 Smash Eggs, and more battles. And yeah, here you go. The RC Shubers can just be regular enemies at this point. I guess it's just after those 2 rooms that they open them up. Oh, maybe we'll see what happens. Oh yeah, if you don't jump on it, eventually it just explodes. Seems to be the result of his attack right there. I don't know why it ended so much faster than the previous ones. All right, I don't think there's actually anything to do by hitting these switches down here. Got both a super mushroom and a 1-up mushroom from that fight. And here we can see an RC Shuber on the field. I was trying to show that I believe if you jump on that little like car shroob thing they have, it does count as a first strike, but I'm not 100% certain. Right here we have a 1-up mushroom, and I have a feeling there's going to be another fight just around the corner. Yep, right by the Chomp Rock we have 1 more Dry Bones, and I cannot jump on him for the life of me. Can't remember if I mentioned it, but the Dry Bones have about 53 HP. Oh, we have 1 more chance to get a first strike, and I failed it. And 1 more level up for the road right at the end of this video. We get Mario, who has decent bonuses on HP, not good on defense, pretty decent on speed, and mediocre on stash. He's outspeeding everything, so we're gonna go for HP and get a nice +6. And interestingly, Luigi did not get a level up. Can I see how much experience I have? Yeah, Mario has 2692, Luigi is 2686, and is 5 experience away, so yeah, it just goes to show you can get desynced every now and then. But anyway, as we head into this next room with just a warp pipe for reuniting the brothers and a warp pipe for moving on to the next area, I think I'm gonna end things off here, all right? In the next one, we will continue making our way through Yube's belly and hopefully finding an escape that is not as gross as I think it's going to have to be. See you guys then.